welcome everyone. Now in this video we are going to cover two commands that are very important and are available in modify toolbar. Okay, so the first command that we are going to discuss is fillet, another one is chamfer. Now both of these commands, they are used in scenarios. Suppose that there is a corner, and if you want to cut that corner, you will use chamfer command, or if you want to make the corner round. Okay, so in that case you are going to use fillet command. Okay, so how can we use these two commands? We are going to discuss this thing in this particular video, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. So let's start learning. Now for reference, I have drawn a rectangle here, and we are going to understand fillet and chamfer using in this particular rectangle only. So you can activate this command from modify toolbar. You can directly click on fillet, or if it is not visible here, you can click on this arrow and you will find fillet and chamfer, both options there. Okay, so we are going to understand fillet first. Now I have taken a rectangle of side 120 by 76. Okay, so if you are making corners round, basically what will happen, you will need the radius of the curvature that you are going to provide to this one. Now suppose that the first thing is I need to specify the radius, so I'll click on radius, or either I can click on it or I can type R, the first letter of this term, press enter. Now it will ask you to specify a fillet radius, so I'm giving a fillet radius of 30 here. Okay, now as soon as you provide this fillet radius, the command bar will ask you to specify the first object. So our object is a line, so first line, and then click on the second line. The corner will be rounded. Now if you right click and go to recent commands, okay, and activate fillet again, by default it will take the same radius that you have provided until or unless you are changing it. Okay, so that's about fillet. Okay, there are certain other options as well that we are going to discuss later on. Now the next command that we are going to understand is chamfer. Now chamfer is used if you want to cut a corner. Okay, now in order to cut a corner, basically we will need the distance. Suppose that if I want to cut this particular corner, I'll need a distance that I want to cut from this line as well as distance from this line. So we'll have to specify both of these distances, then only we'll be able to cut it. First option is distance. Another one is if you have one distance and an angle. Okay, so in that case as well, you can cut this corner. So first we are going to use the option of distance. So click on distance, specify the chamfer distance as 30 for first line and 40 for second line. Now if I want to cut 40 from this one, I'll select it as a second line. Okay, so basically you are going to select the lines in the same sequence in which you have provided these distances. So suppose that I want to cut 40 from here, I'll not select it as the first line. I'll select this one as the first one and this one as the second line. Okay, so that's one option. Another one is if you provide one distance and one angle. So click on angle. Now specify the chamfer distance on first line. So we'll have to specify the distance on first because one angle and one distance is needed for chamfer at least. Now we need the angle. So type 45, select the first line and second line. So basically what AutoCAD has done is it has measured the distance from here and then it has cut the angle. Now let's change the angle and try the same command again. Click on chamfer, click on angle, then specify chamfer length. On the first line I'm going to use 30 here, and for angle I'm going to use 80 degrees. Now select the first line and okay, I think we have made an error in chamfer distance. Let's close it first. Click on chamfer, specify angle and specify distance 30, and now specify the chamfer angle from first line. So basically from first line we need to provide an angle. So angle should be from this particular line. Okay. So suppose that I provide an angle of 20 degree. Press enter. Now select the first line and select the second line. So basically the angle that we are providing, this is from the original line, not from the x-axis. So this is something that we need to take care of while providing the chamfer distance. Now there are certain other options as well that we are going to discuss now. So let's go to fillet again, and then uh, use the option of polyline. Okay, now we'll have to select a 2D polyline. So I'm selecting this as a polyline, but basically what has happened is that this polyline option has not worked here, because the reason is basically we are selecting a rectangle. Now let's select another polyline like this and then click enter. Go to fillet, click on polyline. Now select a 2D polyline. Now three lines were filleted, but we are not seeing any kind of rounded edge. So we are going to repeat it again. Click polyline, specify a radius. Now fillet radius I'm specifying this much. Okay. Now it will ask that specify the second point or select 2D polyline. So I'm going to select this polyline and take a look. All the corners in this particular polyline, they are filleted. So basically polyline option we are going to use in case we want to provide fillet of same radius on every single polyline, every single corner. So that's what polyline option in fillet does, and same is the case with chamfer as well. So I'm going to undo this and I'm going to select chamfer here. Click on chamfer. Now click on polyline, then specify distance. So specify distance of let's say 5 units and 5 units in both cases. Then select the polyline and you will see that all the corners are basically chamfered. So this is the use of polyline option in chamfer and fillet. Now another option is trim. Now we can basically use this trim or no trim option. So I'm going to select trim option. Then I'm going to select first object and then second object. Now what has happened? Basically we need to provide a radius, then only it will work. So that's something that you need to take care of. Okay, so click on trim, enter trim mode option. So trim, then specify radius as 10 units, press enter. After that select the first object and then the second object. Now take a look what has happened. Basically in this polyline we have filleted one single corner. Okay, so that is something that we can use. So I hope fillet and chamfer they are clear. Now there is one more option that is there which is used for curves. Okay, so we can blend curves, like suppose that I have drawn one line, set of line here, another set of line I'm drawing at this particular option like this. Now we can go to blend curve and we will have to specify the first object and then second object, and you will see that a curve is blended in this particular drawing. Okay, so these are the commands that you will see in the same near the same fillet option: fillet, chamfer and blend curves. So I hope you guys have learned something new today, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. Now, in case you are facing any difficulty in any particular command, just let me know in comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Enjoy learning.